An A-plus student is not always the smartest person in the room. They are not always more talented. They do not always understand everything the first time. And they definitely do not wake up every morning feeling motivated to study. So what makes them different? It is what they do when they do not feel like doing anything. That is where the difference begins. The average student studies when motivation appears. The A-plus student studies because the work needs to be done. The average student asks, "Do I feel like studying today?" The A-plus student asks, "What needs to be finished today?" That mentality changes everything. Because if your education depends on your mood, your results will depend on your mood too. And your mood changes every day. You need something stronger than motivation. You need standards. You need a mentality that says, "I do what I said I would do, even when I am tired, even when the chapter is boring, even when nobody is checking, even when the exam feels far away." That is the A-plus mentality, not perfection, consistency. Think about how many students destroy their own potential because they keep waiting. I'll start Monday. I'll study tonight. I'll begin after this video. I still have plenty of time. Then suddenly, the exam is close. The syllabus feels impossible. The anxiety begins. And now they are trying to learn in 3 nights what they had 3 months to understand. Stop doing that to yourself. Stop turning tomorrow into a storage room for everything you refuse to do today. Tomorrow is not empty. Tomorrow has its own work. An A-plus student understands something most students learn too late. Small work done early beats massive work done in panic. They do not look at 100 pages and say, "I have to finish everything tonight." They break it down. 10 pages, 1 topic, 20 questions, 1 focused hour. Then tomorrow, they return. And that is what people misunderstand about high performers. From the outside, their results look impressive, but their daily actions often look boring. Study, practice, review, repeat. Study, practice, review, repeat. Nothing magical, nothing glamorous, just repetition performed long enough to become mastery. You want A-plus results? Then stop being addicted to dramatic effort. One 12-hour study session will not save you if you wasted the previous 3 weeks. You need ordinary effort, repeated extraordinarily well, every single day. And there is another difference. A-plus students do not run away from what they do not understand. They attack it. Think about that. You open a chapter, you see something difficult. Your brain immediately says, "I hate this topic. I'm bad at this. I'll study this later." That moment is important because the topic you keep avoiding may become the question that destroys you in the exam. So stop running. If you do not understand it, good. Now you know where the weakness is. Find another explanation. Ask someone. Watch a lesson. Solve an example. Get it wrong. Try again. Get it wrong again. Try again. Until the thing that once scared you becomes the thing you know how to solve. That is how confidence is built. Not by saying, "I am smart," but by proving, "I can figure things out." An A-plus mentality does not fear mistakes. It uses mistakes. A wrong answer is information. A bad test result is information. A difficult question is information. Weak students protect their ego. Strong students protect their progress. They are willing to look stupid for 5 minutes so they can become smarter for life. Ask the question. Admit you do not know. Find the weakness. Fix it. Move forward. And stop comparing yourself to the student sitting next to you. Maybe they understand faster. Maybe their grades are higher right now. Maybe they seem naturally gifted. Who cares? Their paper is not your paper. Their future is not your future. Their potential does not reduce yours. Your competition is the version of you who keeps wasting your ability. That is who you need to beat. The version of you who reaches for the phone every 5 minutes. The version who quits when something becomes difficult. The version who says, I'll do it tomorrow. The version who wants the grade, but does not want the process. Beat that person, one decision at a time. And understand this, studying longer does not automatically mean studying better. Sitting at a desk for 5 hours while checking your phone every 10 minutes is not discipline. An A+ student respects focus. When they study, they study. Phone away, notifications off. One task, one target, one period of serious concentration. Quality before quantity. 30 minutes of real focus can beat hours of distracted studying. So stop measuring how long you sat at the desk. Start measuring what you actually learned. Can you explain it without the notes? Can you answer the question? Can you solve the problem? Can you remember it tomorrow? That is what matters. And there will be bad days. Days when your brain feels slow. Days when you are tired. Days when you study and almost nothing seems to stay in your head. A+ mentality does not mean pretending those days do not exist. It means refusing to turn one bad day into a bad week. You lost focus today? Return tomorrow. You failed a test? Study the mistakes. You wasted the morning? Win the afternoon. Stop throwing away the entire day because 1 hour went wrong. Recover quickly. That is a skill. And here is the part nobody talks about. You have to protect your brain. Sleep matters. Food matters. Movement matters. Breaks matter. Destroying yourself is not discipline. Burnout is not a badge of honor. The goal is not to study until your mind stops working. The goal is to make your mind work better. Rest, then return. Recover, then execute. Because when the exam finally comes, you do not want to walk into that room hoping for a miracle. You want to walk in knowing, I prepared for this. You see the question, and something feels familiar. You remember practicing it. You remember getting it wrong. You remember correcting it. You remember reviewing it again. And suddenly, all those boring nights make sense. All those moments when you wanted to scroll but studied instead make sense. All those times you chose discipline over comfort make sense. That confidence was not created inside the exam hall. You built it before you arrived. So if you want A+ results, stop chasing the letter. Build the mentality. Become the student who shows up. Become the student who asks questions. Become the student who attacks weaknesses. Become the student who protects focus. Become the student who studies before panic arrives. Become the student who can be trusted by themselves. Because the real victory is not the A+. The real victory is becoming the person capable of earning it. So stop asking, am I smart enough? Ask, am I disciplined enough? Stop asking, what if I fail? Ask, what have I done today to prepare? Stop saying, I hope I get good marks. Build the habits that make good marks difficult to avoid. Open the book. Attack the weak topic. Put the phone away. Practice the questions. Make the mistakes. Correct them. Come back tomorrow and do it again. Not because somebody is forcing you. Not because you are afraid of failure. But because you have decided that your potential deserves your full effort. An A+ student is not created on exam day. They are created in the quiet hours when nobody is watching, when nobody is praising them, when quitting would be easy and they choose to continue anyway. That is the mentality. That is the standard. Now, become that student.